Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news, folks. There's a lot of buzz swirling around the NFL right now, and it's centered on the possibility of a blockbuster trade that could reshape the AFC North landscape. And for Steelers fans, this could be a game changer. We're talking about Jonathan Taylor, the elite running back out of Indianapolis, potentially heading to Pittsburgh. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. Is this really happening? Well, the rumors are heating up, and sources indicate the Colts, currently sitting at a disappointing 4-7 with a defense leaking points at nearly 26. 5 per game and a cap space of around $15 million, are considering a rebuild. They've got some issues on both sides of the ball, and it appears they might be open to parting ways with the star RB to free up cap room and give themselves a shot at a full rebuild, especially on the defensive side, which has been underperforming. Now, the potential deal being discussed involves the Steelers sending a second-round pick in the 2026 draft to Indianapolis in exchange for Taylor. That's a significant move, and it's not just about adding talent. It's about injecting a whole new dimension into the Steelers' offense. For Pittsburgh, this is about bolstering their run game, which has been solid but lacking that extra gear to really control games and set up play action. Taylor's recent performances have been nothing short of spectacular. Just look at Week 10 when he racked up 244 yards against the Falcons, with 3 touchdowns, averaging 5 yards per carry. That game alone showcased why so many teams are interested. Taylor is an absolute game changer, a multifaceted back who can run through tackles, break into the open field, and provide that added punch in the red zone. His numbers over the past season have been impressive, with 853 rushing yards in 2025, 4 rushing touchdowns, and nearly 550 yards receiving, including 2 receiving touchdowns. His PFF grade of 84. 9 and YAC, yards after contact, of nearly 5 per attempt demonstrate his ability to create plays even when the blocking isn't perfect. It's not just about raw stats. It's about the way Taylor can elevate a team's offense, turning short gains into big plays and wearing down defenses over the course of a game. For Steelers fans, the idea of having a back like Taylor behind their offensive line is exciting. Suddenly, the run game becomes a true threat, forcing defenses to respect both the pass and the run. Now let's talk about the impact of this move on the division and the AFC playoff picture. The Steelers, sitting at 6-5, are currently in the thick of the playoff hunt, especially with recent rumors swirling about potential additions in the wide receiver department following the trade deadline. Rumors suggest the Steelers are eyeing players like Mayers or Jacoby, though Jacksonville made a move to acquire one of those targets, which shows how aggressive the Steelers are willing to be. Adding Taylor would give Pittsburgh a serious boost in controlling the clock, something that's been a bit inconsistent this season. It would also help alleviate some pressure on Kenny Pickett, giving him a reliable back to lean on in critical situations and helping to extend drives, something the Steelers desperately need. And let's not forget the cap implications. With about $12 million in available cap space, Pittsburgh could make this move without sacrificing too much flexibility. It would also serve as a way to offset some of the injuries they've faced, like the injury to George Pickens, who's been battling ankle issues but remains a key target down the stretch. The Steelers could use Taylor to help push them into the postseason, especially as teams like the Ravens and Bengals continue to battle it out and look for ways to improve their own rosters. One of the most interesting aspects of this potential trade is the narrative around Taylor himself. Drafted in 2020, he's been recognized as one of the league's most talented backs, with a career rushing total of nearly 900 yards and 68 touchdowns, along with over 600 receiving yards. He's been an all-pro and a highlight reel of broken tackles and explosive runs. His ability to carry the workload, especially in a team that's looking to establish a dominant ground game, makes him a perfect fit for the Steelers' identity. Pittsburgh has always been a ground-and-pound team at heart, and Taylor's style, a combination of power, agility, and vision, would fit right into that mold. His presence could elevate the offense from good to elite, especially when paired with the right offensive line upgrades. Speaking of the offensive line, the Steelers have been working diligently to solidify their front five, and adding a back like Taylor could be the final piece needed to make this unit a true strength. His ability to run behind a strong line, find gaps, and generate yards after contact aligns perfectly with the Steelers' philosophy. Moreover, the chemistry he could develop with Kenny Pickett and the offensive staff would be crucial in making this move work. If Taylor joins the team, it's not just about a new player, it's about a shift in the entire offensive approach, making the Steelers more balanced and less predictable. Now, the big question is whether the Colts will actually part ways with Taylor. Sources suggest they're cautious, especially because he's still under contract and viewed as a cornerstone for their future rebuild. Yet, with cap space and the team's current direction, a trade seems plausible. Indianapolis might prioritize acquiring draft capital and rebuilding their roster, especially on the defensive side, which has been leaking points and struggling to stay competitive. The Colts have been rebuilding their secondary, with new DBs coming in as part of their long-term plan. If the trade goes through, the impact on the Steelers would be immediate and significant. Taylor's presence would likely push the team's total rushing yards to over 1,500, a substantial jump from their current projections. His addition could also lead to a boost of around 12 rushing touchdowns and an increase of roughly 18% in EPA, expected points added, per run. That kind of production could be the difference maker in tight playoff races, especially in a division that's so competitive with the Ravens and Bengals. Plus, Taylor's ability to break tackles and generate chunk plays would help open up the passing game for Pickett, who's been improving but still needs a reliable running threat to truly unleash his arm. Statistically, the comparison between Najee Harris and Jonathan Taylor is striking. Taylor's yards per carry over the past year have been around 5.0, slightly higher than Harris's, with a better broken tackle rate and more consistent yardage after contact. For Steelers fans, this means a more explosive, consistent ground game that can wear down defenses and keep their defense rested. The Steelers' rushing offense could see an uptick of nearly 10 yards per game with Taylor, making them far less predictable and more dangerous on third down or in the red zone. And we shouldn't overlook the potential playoff implications here. DraftKings currently lists the Steelers' odds of winning Super Bowl LXI at around plus 9,000. But if this trade happens, if Taylor becomes a Steeler, those odds could drop significantly, perhaps to plus 3,000, reflecting a real shot at contending. His clutch performance in high-pressure situations, combined with the Steelers' improving defense and offensive line, could propel Pittsburgh into the favorites category. The AFC is tough, no doubt, but with Taylor in the backfield, the Steelers could become a nightmare for defenses trying to contain them in January and beyond. Looking ahead, the vision is clear. A Steelers team with Taylor running behind a revamped offensive line, supported by a balanced attack, could redefine what this franchise is capable of. It's about building a legacy of dominance on the ground, something that Steelers fans hold close to their hearts. With Taylor's elite vision, strength, and ability to break tackles, this move could be the catalyst for a sustained run to the Super Bowl, elevating Pittsburgh from a good team to a true powerhouse in the AFC. In conclusion, while the trade rumors are still just that, rumors, the potential impact is undeniable. If the Steelers manage to pull this off, they're not just adding a player. They're signaling their intent to contend for championships, to establish a ground game that can carry them through the tough AFC playoff battles, and to build a legacy that lasts for years. The AFC North is already competitive, but with a move like this, the Steelers could leapfrog their rivals and set a new standard in the division. The next few weeks will be crucial, and fans should stay tuned because this story isn't over yet. If it comes to fruition, it could be the beginning of a new era for the black and gold, one defined by dominance, resilience, and a relentless pursuit of greatness. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news.